spin, lemon, drop. That was a good pop. Spin, lemon, drop. And fours. What's Clem up to? Just hanging around.
Greetings, Tetris citizens. We're back with more stupid Tetris Monthly. No next box edition for July 2025. And what we've got for you right now is a preliminary bracket. It's the Teal bracket, and this should be kind of a fun one here. Coal Bucket 2. Or Cole, you might know him by. Yeah, he's going to take on Somalian, aka Le Captain R1R2. The winner of this round one match will take on Cobra, who was sitting there waiting in round two. And then the winner of that match at some point later in the tournament, this is all going to feed into a match against Jerpy, the former world record holder in the known Xbox category. So this is going to be a really interesting one. Cole Bucket, or Cole, I don't know, I keep saying Bucket, but we all know Cole, so why do I keep saying Bucket? Cole versus Somalian, the winner versus, I know, I keep saying Bucket because the word is there in front of my face. And I see things, I say things. That's how I work. Cole versus Somalian, winner versus Cobra. And the winner of that eventually against Jerpy. Let's take a look at our overall top 16 situation. And yeah, we've just got, after today, we've only got one more to do. So this is all going to feed into that Teal Jerpy match. And then we've just got purple to figure out. And I think that is scheduled. Let's look at my schedule here and see. Well, that might not be scheduled, actually. Purple. Oh, wait, it is newly scheduled. That's going to be on August 4th, on Monday. So 6 days from now is when we are going to get that purple round one. That's going to be Chroma versus Draco, winner versus Rorschach. And that feeds into the return of Gerald Freeman. So, anyway, that's when that's going to be. But right now, it's going to be this Teal one. Let's take a look at our rules. Players, this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Players can play on emulator or console, so long as they play an unmodified tournament cartridge, except for the modifications that we want them to have. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical, biological, turbo only. Level 9 starts. Listen to this. Level 9 starts all the way through. Level 9 starts. Next piece preview should be set to off. Depending on your Tetris Gym version, you might have to, you know how to do it. You qualified, so you know, but make sure it's turned off. And before you play your first match game, you should play a garbage game and turn it off using the select key like beforehand. That way it doesn't turn on for your first match game. And the other thing is, don't use the select start A, B in order to rage quit out of a game, because that probably will turn your next box back on for the next game. We will also not be using same piece sets. Sorry, Cole. Sorry, Somalian. We will not be doing that. And yeah, that is the tournament rules, and that's what you signed up for, and that is how we are going to play it, and that is how everyone's going to play it. Remember, if you do have any tech issues, just keep playing. Internet goes out, OBS starts doing whatever. Just keep playing. I will sort it out and make a decision and figure it all out. Your job is to play Tetris, and my job is to figure all the rest of it out. Remember, don't receive any in-game advice. Do not pause unless commentator tells you to. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which is at $512 even. So that's pretty good. That's a good amount for a stupid Tetris Monthly. We are looking for $1,000 as our goal. And if we can get to that, we will pay the top 8. Use the Matcherino command if you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube to bring up the link in chat. It should say STMNNB or Stupid Tetris or something like that. Click on that one. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. And once you're over there in the top right-hand corner where it says log in, well, that's where you log in. Click on that. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. And once you're in, over on the right side, you'll see a mustard color button that says contribute. Click on that to contribute. Thanks to everybody who has done so far. We've had a lot of generosity, but we would love to get to that $1,000 if you want to keep seeing these different game modes. A great way to help ensure that happens is to support the prize pool. So that is how to support the players, to support the channel. Do this. Go to patreon.com/monthlytetris, just like these people have done, and provide an ongoing pledge of support on a monthly or annual basis to help keep this channel going. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have tournaments, you know, you got to have a place that's going to have them and do them, and someone's going to stream them. And that person is me. So if you want to support this whole thing, go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Shout outs to Scott, Gray J in the window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cacket, Mila, and Jason for their extra large level of support. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to open up our thing over here and make sure that we are good. I left the stencil on. You are not being stencil shamed at all. We'll fix the cam up. And we'll get all this going here. All right, look at this. I'm liking these two cams because we can get the hands above the placard. And remember, players, we are not gonna be doing same piece sets. So I know it's disappointing, but you know. And no, I know. You're against it. You're against it. I know. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm actually not sorry. I mean, I'm just... I wish you felt better about it. That's all. But I'm not sorry. You got to follow your own vision, right? But I am very interested in what a match would look like. And I'm willing to do... You know, like an exhibition if you want to do it. But all right. Well, players, when you are ready, turn off your next piece, top out naturally, not with the rage quit button, and go to the level select screen. Cole's got 2 chairs. I love it. You got a gaming chair and you're like sitting on some weird bench. Perfect. Bad luck, have fun. You do not have to do qual mode unless you have to. Some versions of Tetris gyms won't let you turn off the next box unless you do it in qual mode. So you do not have to do it. But yeah, as long as the next box is off, that's what matters. Unfortunately, Cole has to do it because he's got that version of Jim. All right, let's make sure that they are not on the same seed. Like, literally, this is the do not be on the same seed box right here. All right, they're both on Tetris, which is good. Looks like both players are ready. Round 1, Cole versus Somalian. Let's get them started. Stupid Tetris Monthly. No next box. July 2025, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is what is happening. Yo, why was the next box on? I don't know. All right. Well, we're going to have to start over. I don't know why the next box was on. Did you rage quit out of a game? You probably rage quit out of a game. Somalian, we're going to start over. Here, click start a game and just be sure. Just start a game and see right now. All right, try it again. Just top out normal. Uh-oh. All right, regular start button. Try it again. Okay, now it's off. All right, just never hit that select button ever. Start only. I know a lot of times, even on that top out screen, people do the rage quit button just by habit. It's hard to break. All right, we're really starting. Let's get him. Well, as soon as Cole signals ready, we'll start. All right, they're both ready. Cole versus Somalian round 1. What is it? It says top 8. Round 1. Stupid Tetris Monthly. No next box. July 2025. Teal bracket 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, now I think Cole was really just angling for better starting pieces. I think that's what it was. He's like, oh, my next box, it was on. I think that's what it was. You know how these people are. You know, kids, cheaters. No, just kidding. All right, they're fine. We are starting SDM. No next box. It's Cole, and it is Somalian. So on the left side of your screen, it is Cole, qualified in to seed number 23 with a 322,000 qualifier. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Cole from the United States of America has an overall PB of 4.22 million, which is good for about 19th on the overall PB leaderboard. Not a no next box, that's for sure. And Cole is the 7th ranked player in the most recent Premier Poll Open version of that. And you can check out all the rankings for the Premier Poll at premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end. Cole's a winner of a Challenger circuit. Did that back in February of 2024. 3-time gold bracket CTWC. And also done pretty well in regionals as of late, and especially 2024. Top 4 in Oklahoma, Northeast, Philly. Hey, wait, what one did Cole win? Cole won one recently, and I didn't put it on my sheet. All right, somebody in chat will know. Also, a 3-time Mega Master was Cole. On the right side of your screen, it is Somalian Captain R1R2, qualified into seed number 26 with a 310,000. Somalian is also from the United States, has an overall PB of 1.638. Is a 3-time CTWC gold bracket player, 2 Challenger circuits, 2 Hopeful circuits. Also played in CTEC in the online years, 4 times in the Mega Masters event. But here they are playing with no next box. We are starting on level 9 for every single one of these because it's a lot harder to play without a next box, believe it or not. And these matches are going to be best of 5. We started out the month, like the very first match, we're like, wait, we have to play 7 of this? This is taking a long time. So we're like, we're going to just make it best of 5. So we do start on level 9. The first speed transition kicks in at 100 lines. That will be that speed for 3 levels, levels 10, 11, and 12. The next speed increase, 130 lines at level 13. And that'll be a speed increase. And that speed will be there for 13, 14, and 15. And then at level 16, there is one more speed increase. And well, not one more, but there's another. And that is the same speed as level 18, and 16, 17, 18. So speed increases at level 10, level 13, level 16, and level 19. And there's no way they really get much past level 19, and certainly not into any higher speed. The world record for this category was set in July, on July 1st of this year. So earlier this month, it was set by Dog Playing Tetris, got a 558,000. That record sat unimproved for over 4 years. The previous world record holder was Jerpy, who set it in 2021. That record changed hands a lot between 2020 and 2021, I think just in virtue of, the stupid Tetris Monthlies we were running those years. Although there was just 2 tournaments, really just the kind of an annual stupid championship. 127 for Cole, 90,000 for Somalian. Lucas says, I can't wait to see the top 16 of both Masters events this month. Can't wait either. And speaking of Masters and whatever in the end of the month and all that, there is still time to qualify for August events. It is July 29th here in Texas. Might be July 30th where you are. But you have until the end of this month in your local time. So basically at like 11:59, to start your qualifier. So if you want to play CTM events in August, we've got regular CTM going, you know, Masters and all the tiers all the way down, and DAS Masters that you could potentially get into. And I don't know. I'm thinking, what month are we going to do, you know, Mega Dasters? Maybe, should that be September? If so, then we're going to open qualifiers for that, you know, early August. So, and then how many people do we have in Mega Dasters? Is it 64? Do we have 96? Do we just put literally everybody in the same tournament? That would be crazy. 167 for Cole, 109 for Somalian. $179 Cole, 124 Somalian. So Cole up over 55,000 points. And we are just about, you know, 15 something lines away from level 10. That speed is going to increase. Now, when you get to level 10, a decent transition is anything over 200,000. Tetrises here on level 9 are worth 12,000. Right? So if you had a perfect level 9 into level 10, it would be what, 300 and 300,000, and 1,200, right? Yeah, 301,200 I think would be a perfect. So if you're up over 200, you have a decent transition at level 10. If you're over like 220, 230, that's pretty good. Or at least in terms of what has been done so far in this tournament. Tetris Somalian 150, 204 for Cole. Tetris Cole 216. And Somalian is the first one into level 10 at 163. And Cole is in at 229. So a pretty healthy transition for Cole. And the next level, the next speed increase will be at level 13, 130 lines in. Remember, players cannot see the next piece. And if you notice how this is going, you know, the pieces are dropping, you know, 5, 6 rows, something like that, before the players really react to them. All right, Somalian getting up high here and gets a long bar over for a Tetris. Tetris for Cole, 257. Another Tetris, Somalian, 207. Oh, I had to sneeze. Glad I have a sneeze button. Tetris Somalian, and he's got a good-looking board right now, 223. 260, though, for Cole. Level 11, Tetris is worth 14,400. Cole has a T-spin setup. Oh, and he's going to kind of stand up a piece here to make a long bar dependency over in column 2. And he's just going to have to be unfulfilled with regard to his T-spin aspirations and just kind of bring that all down on its own. 239 for Somalian, 276 for Cole, and Cole is maybe setting up for a triple. And maybe more. Yeah, he's going to try to set up for a Tetris. And this is pretty high. 7 lines away. He may regret the aggression here. And yeah, he's got a bifurcated board here, and he just cannot get a long bar over. So this is going to be a top out for Cole at 276. Somalian is into level 13. And needs to chase down 277,000. That is the target. And a long bar gets over 275, so he's 1,500 points more is what he need. Yeah, Cold Bucket says spires are so tough because what ends up happening is you just have to gamble which side you're going to put a piece, and if you don't get the right piece and you didn't gamble the right way, that is very tough. So Somalian going to chase this down and take game number 1. Spires really divide the board in a way that is very, very difficult to deal with. Shouldn't have sent her well, says Cole. Well, it's probably something you knew in advance, but in the moment you're like, I can do it. Right? All right. Well, this is hopefully both players, hopefully they have not hit the select button, but we will see. And we'll start them in game number 2. Somalian up 1-0. And we'll get that underway. And we are. So Somalian able to get the chase down on level 13 speed. Cousin Avi says, I just scored 545,000 with this in the background. Second personal best score. Let's go 18 star. GG's Cousin Avi. Presumably that was not presumably that was with the next box. Yeah, good PB, Cousin Avi. Congrats. All right, Somalian gets Tetris number 2, and Cole kind of in a bit of a drought of some sort. And long bars are a little bit less than other pieces, but we got 4 long bars right now. And, 4 J's, 8 Z's. But yeah, all right. So bars, all right. And Cole with the great survival. And really, Somalian only with 5 bars as well. So both of them getting very... Oh, wow. Cole going to get that bar over to the left. So both players getting not a lot of bars in this game number 2. Somalian still stuck on 5 bars. Cole on 6 bars. So, they're getting equally shorted from bars. And now they're starting to come. Cole trying to bring this down. This mode really rewards low, safe, flexible, flat stacking and not, piling up stuff and not spiring. And Cole going to uncover that right side. If he can get a quick bar. Oh, he can't get the spin of the T. And there's a long bar over Tetris for Cole. So now we should have some room to bring this down and fix all this. And just try to get a good board going again. Nice flat bar in there with the bottom of that T. And Somalian taking the burns. Yeah, 558 is the highest score on record. Gerald has, or is said to have, an unrecorded 611. But something unrecorded shouldn't count as a record, right? A record is right there in the is right there in the word. All right, Tetris Somalian 85,000, 42,000 for Cole. So Cole bringing this board down. And there's a nice J piece. TiVo it is says, oh, this is no preview game. Yes, there is no next piece preview. For some reason, this mode started out its life being called no next box. But of course, the next box is there. It's just there's nothing in it. So right now, Cole with 17 long bars and Somalian with 18. So they are tied bar-wise. All right, long bar over and a triple for Somalian. Cole playing up pretty high on the board. Has room to take a triple. A nice skim here, and now is Hurt of Gambling. Gets the bar. 61,000 for Cole. And T-spin Cole. All right, Somalian keeping this nice and low, even though it's a mess. It's a low mess. All right, Somalian may be gambling a little bit, trying to get a couple pieces in a row, and this is kind of this is a total gamble when you kind of set up and you say, oh well, I'm 2 pieces away from a dirty Tetris setup, and I'm gonna gamble, and then it really, if you can not gamble, it's better not to. So now Somalian scrambling. And this is definitely a scramble. All right, Somalian is, Cole is actually set up for a dirty Tetris if he can get a bar. Somalian's still alive here, 108, 65,000 for Cole. There's a dirty Tetris for Cole. Column 10, 2 rows off the bottom. Somalian is topped out at 108. The target for Cole is 109. Tetris is here worth 12,000 points, so he's under 2 Tetris, or he's about, oh no, sorry, he's a little over 2 Tetrises away. Yeah, Somalian, again, maybe he shouldn't have gone for that dirty, right? That dirty center well Tetris. Cole, like, literally just said that in the previous game. Somalian's like, yeah, but I can. And, yeah. All right, so Cole just trying to get a good board, and he's just in super safety strats right now. All right, Cole gonna get some long bar over to that right side just to get some material on the board. And there is a nice long bar. So Cole 4 lines away from the level 10 speed increase. And singling and doubling, and that's the thing about this mode too, about, you know, this level. Singling and doubling does not, it takes a while. Because on level 9, singles are worth 400 points. So if you're gonna single away, like, you know what, a 12,000 point lead, was that 30 singles? That's like 30 levels of 3 levels of singles. It's like not, it doesn't get you very far. So you do have to, if you're gonna chase something down, it does behoove you to try to get, you know, doubles on 9 are worth 1,000, triples worth 3,000, but then again, it's risky. So there's a Tetris for Cole 103. He's now 6,000 away. Not taking any chances here. All right, he's in a place where he can set up for Tetrises or triples if he wants to, because he's clean. And, you know, try to avoid going all in. He's gonna take the burn, and he could have. All right, and there's, oh, he could have taken the triple. The triple would have given it to him, but he's going for, he's trying to not do it. He wants to finish it off with a Tetris, and he does. So, you know, very stressful to chase down, very stressful. But he passed on a couple of triples, and triples would have given him the game. Digs are so hard, says Cole. Yeah, they are. They are indeed. All right, Cole has tied it up. So as soon as you're both ready Fractal Seventh Roommate with a $20 contribution to the prize pool. That is going to take us that's going to get us to $532 in the prize pool. A genuine vandweller compliment by Coal Bucket. Have you been saving for just this moment? Well, we're going to get you started and then I'll think about it. Oh my God. I'm going to think of good things to say about Cole. Oh my God. How am I possibly... You've had it since Mega Masters. Why do we still have that? We gotta get rid of that. I don't want to compliment anybody. Oh my God. All right, let's get these players started and I'll think about it. All right, Cole versus Somalian. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 virtually between these two players. Let's get them started. Tied up. All right, so we have a thing on Twitch where if you save up an amount of channel points, you can redeem them for things, and one of them is a genuine vandweller compliment. I guess the idea is like, I'm so infrequently genuine that you have to pay for sincerity. I guess I have a whole pay for sincerity scheme going on. And I guess I have to do that. So Cole has saved up channel points to redeem them for a genuine vandweller compliment. Well, is there a cheaper redeem for a backhanded compliment? Sure. No, I don't know. It's really hard to do because all I want to do is make fun. But yeah, Cole is a very positive influence in the community, right? I've never heard of any single incident involving Cole. Oh, I need to report Cole. Cole said this. Cole said that. So he's extremely positive element in the community. I don't know why he's not a mod. He really should be a mod. He's a very trustworthy person, affable, friendly. I don't know that I don't think he's like a big extrovert. I think he probably is a little bit introverted, but he's still friendly, approachable, trustworthy, like all of the Boy Scout attributes. I would say Cole has them. Now, I would say sometimes Cole gets a little bit kind of, I don't know, in terms of top players. I mean, Cole is definitely a top player, but sometimes I think people kind of underestimate Cole, and they shouldn't, because he's extremely skilled. He's got that 4.22 million. And, but I think, Cole on his own is a top player, and probably one of these days will take down like a top CTM championship, because he also seems to be dedicated, level-headed, and I don't know, it seems like a person with a good work ethic and not a complainer or a grouser. Cobra says that's the least genuine compliment. No, it's not at all. Yeah, but Cole is overall an extremely good influence. I really can't say enough about, I would totally entrust the community to someone people like Cole. Yeah, has never been a problem, and doesn't have that weird sense of entitlement. Except for that one time where he was like, oh, Somalian and I are going to play we're going to play same piece sets. And it made Somalian top out. So Somalian, you have topped out. Cole, you are good in game number 2. But yeah, I mean, I think over and the biggest thing I think about Cole is just an overwhelmingly positive, solid presence in the community. Don't always disagree with everything Cole says, but if I hear Cole has an opinion on something, that is something that I am going to take into account and take it seriously and consider it, because he's kind of like Andy, although Andy's more of a memester than Cole is, but he's always got good takes on stuff, even if I don't agree with him. So yeah, I can't say enough about Cole. Cole, you should be a mod, honestly, except that you have too many friends. That's the problem. If you have too many friends, it's not good for mod, because anyway, Cole, hats off to you. No, don't redeem. Only one per. Only one per. I can't compliment people all the thing. One per day. That's it. Don't do it today. And I don't know what I'd have good to say about you, Somalian. That's the problem too. Is I'll have to make a bunch of shit up. I'm just kidding, of course. All right. But yeah, I don't know. I just think Cole is like a very solid person in the community. I don't know. He just seems like a solid, good, approachable, unassuming guy, you know? And slept on. I think people sleep on Cole a little bit in terms of comp, but all right. And they shouldn't. All right, looks like Cole is up to 2-1. Let's go ahead and get them started. They're both ready. 3, 2, 1 Tetris game number 4. Somalia needs to win this one to stay in. We had another contribution to the prize pool, by the way, and that was Silver Sauce. Oh, did you have no next box on? Did you have the next box? I think you had the next box on. Possibly. Somalian, you can top out if you want to. Yeah, go ahead and top out, Somalian. And it's too bad. Somalian was doing well, but Cole gonna, act as... Yeah, I think it does turn on. It depends on it. I don't know. It's a weird bug that happens. All right, we'll try it again. Both players ready. Game number 4, Cole versus Somalian. Somalian looking to tie it up to force a deciding game number 5. And yeah, this is really... I would like it in Tetris Gym if there were a more definitive like menu option to turn off the next box. That way you knew it was off. And you couldn't like turn it back on with select during the game. I think that would be a good idea. Oh, and also Cole also very helpful in like Discord and things like that. So people will ask questions, new people, things like that. And, 3/4 of this community will just meme on them, not mean-spiritedly, but they'll just, because it's funny. And listen, I'm probably a person that inspires that. But Cole will actually answer the question, and help out somebody who's asking a sincere question. So I also appreciate that as well. I've seen that behavior multiple times. All right, that's enough. 36,000 for Cole, 25,000 for Somalian. Zook says you can toggle it during a game. Yeah, that's a tough part. Now, the player does accidentally toggle it during a game, like just turn it off, but what can you do? But it's sort of like the pause rules. I've sold you on Cole. Yeah, vote Cole 2028. I mean, if I can just say anything bad about Cole, it's like, sometimes, his screen name has the word bucket in it, and sometimes I'll say Cole Bucket because it's on the name, and I just say that without thinking, and he doesn't like it. But that's the only bad thing. And if you don't want it, change the name. Easy. That's it. Now I'm giving you. Now I'm saying all the bad things about Cole. Right? He didn't pay for that. That's free. 64,000 for Cole. 61,000 for Somalian. Nah, there's really nothing bad. All right, Cole getting up pretty high here. Has Burnzo and takes him. Long bar, Tetris, Cole, 77,000. 85,000 for Somalian. Somalian is setting up a Vitz, like, and gets rewarded with the bar. But really, you should be punished in this mode for setting up a Vitz on purpose. What the heck? All right, Chen, you are not the worst person. Chen is kind of seeking attention, saying, "Oh, I'm the worst person, aren't I?" And then kind of fishing for compliments. No, you're definitely not the worst person. Prove it, Vandy. Who's the worst person? Oh, I'll get you a list. 100,000 even for Somalian. Exactly 100,000. $104 for Cole. And yes, Somalian refusing to take a double. And that is not behavior that is rewarded in no next box. In that situation, if you can take that double, especially, you know, if you're still going to preserve that Tetris well, probably should be taking it, because now it's going to lead him to a lot more burning than he otherwise would have taken if he had just taken the double. So 113 for Somalian, 116 for Cole. There's the Tetris Cole, 129. We're halfway to the level 10 transition. Both players with clean boards. All right, kind of a delayed burn thing here for Somalia. Nice long bar to uncover the well. And another one to get the Tetris. So players pretty close in long bars, by the way. Cole with 22, Somalian with 24. So they're pretty close in bars. And both players, well, Cole's board a little bit higher than you'd want it, but he's got a double he can skim away. And yeah, long bar over for Cole. And you can see when the stacks get that height, players do, and you really have to start to cheat pieces over to the left and then readjust them to the right. You see that happen a lot. Sometimes you cheat one way or the other depending on how the board is, but yeah, players will start to cheat their pieces one way and then have to adjust it when they get it. Like if 6 out of the 7 pieces go left, then yeah, it makes sense to kind of start everything going to the left, but when you get that one piece that has to go to the right, you got to adjust it back over. 147 Cole, 133 for Somalian, and that is why you really want to avoid that, if you can, getting that board high, unless you're able to handle all that pretty well. All right, Somalian going to uncover that right side well. Would love a quick bar. Gets a few pieces to build out that left side. He's got a bunch of skims he can take. He takes one. And the long bar over at Tetris for Somalian, 148, 151 for Cole. El Pelton says, no, this is not same piece sets. It's not same piece sets because it's a no next box tournament. And if someone is, ahead or below, ahead in the piece or behind in the piece sequence, they could essentially cheat off the other player's screen. Some people say that, well, it's not possible, but I do know that that is possible. Maybe not, to different levels of success, but it's definitely possible. And Cole in a bit of trouble, and he needed a long bar, and he cheated that long bar to the left, and he got it over there. So that's a top out for Cole, and Somalian has tied it up. And this was level 9. When we did last time we did SDM in 2021, we had it was multiple modes in a given match, and you could choose, one would be no next box, the next game would be a speed run, the next game would be, minimum score, blah, blah, blah. So no next box was one of the selectable modes in a match, and we did it at level, was it 15? I think it was something ridiculous. It really was stupid, but now it's not so stupid. Now this is a 9. The challenge is there, and yet it's playable. All right, so we're just waiting on, I think Cole is typing. Alexi is so smart. He added no next box back in the 80s just for this tournament. He's a visionary, man. He looked ahead. He knew. All right, as soon as both players ready, we will start. So we just need that. There you go. It's rough because you have to hit select to get ready too, so that's the tough part. All right. It is decider time. What was once the best of 5, now a best of 1, 3-2-1 Tetris. Cole and Somalian, the winner of this, moves on to round 2 to face Cobra. Now, I've been checking the bars, periodically, and so far there's not been a game where they've gotten, massively different bar distribution. So it is, this has been a very fair match in terms of bars, at least. You'd love to see someone playing on an original Tetris cart for this mode. What McMonkey says, why on an original Tetris cart? I mean, that's how we did it like back in the day. So Cole with a covered well, and the bar, okay. Cole 1, oh, there we go. And he's trying to conserve pace here. In regular play, you see players, instead take a single instead of a double so that they can conserve pace. But these games have not really been coming down to pace and like deep runs. So in a lot of ways, if you've got a high board and you have a choice between taking the single and the double, and your board is still relatively high even after that single, probably taking the double is good because you're probably gonna have to take a single anyway, and the double is like more points per line. So there's a lot of weird things like that in this mode, which you got to kind of think about and plan for. And I like this mode because it's one of the few game modes that, game variants that you could do in the original cart, right? It's like, it was built in. It was an intended variant of NES Tetris by the developers. And Somalian is setting up a column 9 Tetris. And he's trying to save some burns here. 63,000 for Cole, 51,000 for Somalian. He's got a double and he takes it. Long bar in Somalian, column 9 Tetris. And Cole with a blocked well, like 9 rows up. He's taking it down row by row. Somalian 76,000, Cole at 65, and he overshoots that L piece, and now he's kind of in scramble mode, and he's up high on the board. Okay, there's a good piece. And he's in a gamble scramble. And this is going to be tough for Cole to do anything here, and that is going to be a top out for Cole, and Somalian is good, and we'll move on to round 2. So GG's Cole, you played well, but it will be Somalian, our 26 seed, moving on. GG's Cole, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to give you all the praise that you deserve in the community. All right, we're going to run an ad real quick. Boopity boop. And let me get over to YouTube and take that. And we're going to pop in the other player here, Cobra. So, let's see. Goodbye 23, hello 10. What are you? 10. Player 1. Camera 10. All right, let me fix your camera. And then we'll... All right, you are backwards. And now you are frontwards. And we're going to do the trick. The trick. All right, that is the trick. And now I can't see anything. All right. I like that shelf, that ladder, kind of ladder bookshelf. I love those styles of bookshelves, by the way. So congrats on that. I have a lot of books. I have way too many books in storage right now. That's a big problem. Climate. All right, why can I see... This is not good. Why can I see behind... This does not make sense to me. Oh, that's actually on... Is that on the... What is going on over there? That doesn't look right. Why can I see... That's really weird. Playfields. Why is the center... Oh, all right. Well, it's a little... Something got a little scuffed on my scene here. Not exactly sure why, but... All right, we'll get it... We'll get it situated for next time. Yeah, that's weird. A little scuffed. All right, players, as soon as you're ready, make sure your next box is turned off. Make sure you do not use Select Start AB to quit games. And when you are ready, go to the level select screen and signal ready. The static is not a filter. The static is old analog electronics. All right, so Cobra, you sure your next box is off? I really don't want to do a whole run up and then... So there's no same pieces. If you're waiting for same pieces, there are no pieces. All right, and your next box is off? Next box is off? Okay. I guess it is. Chef Boy RG, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. No, it was not turned off. See, he wasn't ready. All right. All right, we're just about ready to start round 2. Cobra versus Somalian. The winner goes to the top 16. And why is this not happening? All right, it is happening. Let's get him started. Oh, that reset turned it on. Yeah, that reset. Cobra, you cannot... Cobra. You cannot select start AB. Okay, there you go. He's only been playing Tetris for like years, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, now we are ready. Cobra versus Somalian round 2. The winner goes to the top 16. Let's get them started. Teal bracket round 2. The winner will eventually take on world record holder, former world record holder in this category, Jerpy, in 3-2-1 Tetris. Who plays no next box for years? Listen, Somalian. Cobra knows how Tetris works, okay? The whole game. Expert. Let me just adjust one of the games while I have the chance to do it. And I guess, well, there's a compromise, but it'll do. On the left side of your screen, it is Cobra. Hooray for Cobra. Cobra qualified into this tournament with a 382,000. That gave him seed number 10. Means he did not have to play a match until round 2. He's the number 12th ranked player in the most recent Premier poll. That is a that is a poll of Tetris broadcasters and journalists and tournament organizers. And they go, oh, who do you think are the 25 best players? And we send in the poll, and then they tabulate it, and then it's a poll. So there it is. You can find the full results over at premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end. So Cobra with that 382,000 qualifier. That was the average of his best 2 games. No Xbox style played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Cobra has an overall PB of 4.66 million, which is good. That's a top 20 score. He's won a challenger circuit. In fact, he won the last ever challenger circuit. Did that in November of 2024. Was top 4 semifinals in the most recent Lone Star Championship. Went out versus the eventual winner, Scooty. Cobra won the Boston Regional this year. The, what's it called? The Boston Tea Parody. You know, 2 Boston, 2 Parody, whatever it is. Very good. And that is Cobra. On the right side of your screen, it is Somalian, 54,000 right now. Cobra, 37,000. Somalian qualified into seed number 26 with a 310,000 point qualifier. Took out Cole in round number 1 in a decider. There's a Tetris Cobra, 51,000. There it is. That's numbers. 56 for Somalian. Cobra gets another one, 63,000. Somalian is a 3-time CTWC Gold Bracket player, 2-time Challenger Circuit winner, and 2-time Hopeful Circuit winner. Overall PB of 1.638 million. That's a top 60 score. Both players from the United States of America. And they're here playing in Stupid Tetris Monthly. And trying to fight their way into the top 16. 72,000 Somalian, 76 for Cobra. And Somalian's board a little dicey here. You wouldn't think so, but with no next piece preview, it's a lot more challenging. And you can see the players letting the piece drop, 5, 6, 7 rows before making a decision as to where it should go or even just reacting to it. 75,000 Somalian, 90,000 Cobra. We start out on level 9 in this tournament. For what I think, if you saw the previous matches, you will say, yeah, that's probably a pretty decent starting level. And we transition to level 10 at 100 lines. There's another speed increase at 130 lines, level 13. Another speed increase at level 16, that's 160 lines. So level 10, level 13, level 16, and then level 19. Those are the relevant speed increases. 114 for Cobra, 102 for Somalian. Tetris is on level 9, are worth 12,000 points. So you can see that Cobra right now is one Tetris's worth of points ahead of Somalian. And we did have a contribution to the prize pool. I kind of glossed over it, but Silver Sauce kicked in $18. The comment was, hi, Vandy, tell Cole he is a good commentator. Cole, if you're still watching, you are a good commentator. So I missed that during Cole's match, but thank you. Fractal 7th roommate's message was, support burning dead dinosaurs. All right. Although I think it's, pretty well known that coal and other fossil fuels are not dead dinosaurs so much as they are compressed dead plant matter. But they used to say, oh, it's dead dinosaurs. And I, as a kid, I always thought, there's no way there's enough dinosaurs. Like, there's got to be other things. But all right, 133 for Cobra, 130,000 for Somalian. Whoops, it says, I used to top out pretty regularly on 18 till you mentioned it's the same speed as 16, which I never noticed. So now I usually top out on 16. Well, I'm glad I could help. Whoops. Appreciate that. Yeah, sorry I missed those messages earlier in the prize pool. But anyway, that gets us up to $550. We are over halfway toward our goal. $142 for Somalian, $146 for Cobra. $172 Cobra. He's the first one into level 10. That speed is increased by what, 20%? Or let's say it's 20% faster. And Somalia's in at 181. So pretty, so far, elite transitions so far seem to be over 200,000 into 10. 180s are fairly reasonable, though. Or elite would be like over 230. Really good would be over 200. 180 is like, decent. Cobra with a Tetris and a good, flat, flexible board. Somalian with a good board, too. 195. Somalian back by 6 lions. Long bar over Tetris. Somalian. Level 11. Tetris is here, worth 14,400. And board's getting kind of high for both players. Somalian takes a triple. Cobra gets a Tetris. 231 for Cobra, 213 for Somalian. Another Tetris Somalian. He's got a hole in the board. He's going to try to take care of that. And now they're just 2,000 points apart, basically the same line count. Cobra wants to uncover the right side, and he's going to take a nice triple to knock this down 3 rows. All right, level 13. The speed has increased again on Cobra's side. Somalian 1 line away from that level 13 speed increase. 13 is 25% faster versus level 12. 257 Cobra, 246 Somalian. Somalian with a good flat board. It's kind of high, though. He fails to get that Z over to the left, and that's just the kind of thing that can fester at these speeds. So Somalian going to try to attack this. He keeps that right side open, puts additional weight on that hole. And he's really just trying to keep this open for the Tetris, but you know, you also don't want to go all in here when you're kind of behind. All right, Somalian. All right, Tetris for Cobra, 293. Oh, misdrop here for Somalian. The hang of that J piece. He uncovers the right side, and now can he get a long bar over to the right? He's going to have to kind of guess it over there. And yeah, he's just cheating every piece to the left, and that is going to be a top out for Somalian at 267. And Cobra, you are good in game number 1. Doing a little bit deeper into the, you know, the other speed levels in this match as compared to the first one. All right. So Cobra, you are good. And don't rage quit. Just hit the start button. Start button only. Start button only. Don't select start AB. All right. As soon as you're ready, let me know and we can start. Commodore Friday, by the way, with the tier 1 sub 9 minutes ago. 13 months says it's like 12, but unluckier indeed. And Chef Boyard Jeeves again, tier 1 sub. Thank you, says Ola. All right, both players ready. Game number 2, Cobra and Somalian. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Cobra says had nearly a 50-piece drought. You got an Xbox, Somalian. Somalian, you got an Xbox. All right, we can we can restart. Yeah, we're gonna redo. Yes, redo. All right, so just hit the start button. Oh my god. All right, game number 2 between Cobra and Somalian. Both players are ready, so let's get him started. Somalian looking to tie it up. And yeah, there might be like a whole competition of just how often can you like hit various buttons going back and forth between gameplay and the level select screen without turning your next box back on. Like, that should be the competition, because players are much worse at that than they are at the actual Tetris. Yeah, I would like to see that built into Tetris Gym, is just be able to turn that next box on or off, like on the menu, so that's the only way to do it. Or like lock the next box on, lock it off, or don't lock it either way. Like, that would be a good setting, right? Yeah, lock on, lock off, or do not lock it either way. Like, allow the select to choose the whatever. I don't know how to phrase it, but you know what I mean. But there's only so many things you can add, like, right? I mean, it's just like the menu's already big enough as it is. It's a monstrosity, but it's so feature packed. So Cobra's board is very challenging right now. He's gonna open up that long bar well. And he gets a long bar in for a split double. That's going to open up the right side. There is a Tetris well there. Somalian with a Tetris, 49,000. And Cobra could use a bar again. And this is getting tricky. He's got a skim there, and a long bar goes in. That is going to be good for a triple. Cobra opens up the right side. He's got a burn for a double to bring this down even 2 more rows, and now he's got a good flat board with burns, and he gets a long bar and gets a Tetris. 56,000 for Cobra, 73,000 for Somalian. Tetris Somalian, 85,000. 68,000 Cobra. All right, Cobra, 80,000, 86,000. All right, nice long bar there for Somalian. He's going to open up that right side, and he gets a quick long bar. That's going to help him knock this stack back down as well as get 12,000 points. And there's a nice S piece for Somalian. So he's got a good low board, or at least he's got a low board, and he's got a way out of this. This is easy. Cobra with a good stack and a Tetris 105. He's going to get into the lead now by a few thousand points. I'm sure all the players and fans will be relieved that we will have a normal CTM for August, although we're going to have probably going to do DAS Mega Masters in September, and we'll probably have another I don't know, that might be a 3Z month. We might do DAS Mega Masters, regular Masters, and an STM in September. I think that's what we're going to do. We're not going to have an August STM, but we will have one in September. I mean, assuming prize pool gets supported and assuming, players want to play it, obviously it will not be no next box again. 119 for Somalian, 141 for Cobra. Tetris Somalian. Vandy, are you not planning on sleeping in September? I mean, this Tetris must be played. Do you understand? You guys have a limitless appetite for Tetris, and somebody has got to provide it for you. $167 Cobra, $144 for Somalian. Both players on good boards. And Tetris for both. Somalian back by about 23,000. That's about 2 Tetrises. I'm trying to get in all the stuff that I want to do while I can, I want to do a bunch of STMs. I want to get my DAS Mega Masters in. We're doing Tap Masters this month. So that's another bucket list item crossed off. We're going to do our 2022 Bears Championship in October 2025. So we're getting all the buckets list stuff crossed off. Tetris Somalian, 181. There's a Tetris Cobra, 205, so 10 lines away from level 10, and Cobra with a good pace. Long bars for both. And really Somalian on a good pace too. All right, Tetris Somalian 206. Somalian just setting up a Vitz, 7 lines before the level 10 transition and speed increase. But that's how Somalian lives. 231 for Cobra into level 10. That's a pretty healthy transition. And Somalian now with a Spire here and a bifurcated board, which is not easy to deal with. All right, Somalian trying to dig out of this. He's got some burns now. And he takes the duck instead of the burn. So Cobra tops out at 233 though. And Somalian now with a window. He's at 221. He takes a triple. The target for Somalian is 234. So all of a sudden, Cobra was at a huge pace and then just really didn't get any points and just was stacking and stacking after the speed increase. And now Somalian, taking triples here, knows the situation and is just going to, line it out. Got no bar. Well, yeah. All right. So one more line clear, I think, for Somalian should do it. And that will do it. Somalian is good and will tie up this match at a game apiece. Yeah, Cobra did get fewer bars in that one. All right, remember, just start, go back to level, and hit select to get ready. That's it. Okay. Looks like both players are ready. What was once a best of 5, now best of 3. Cobra versus Somalian, a 3-2-1 Tetris. Yeah, Cobra did get fewer bars, but had a much bigger, like a 3 Tetris lead at transition. So he was able to do more with less, at least up until transition, but then Somalian stuck around. Oh, kind of. All right, so Cobra, making a kind of a decision with, I think, with that square piece. And it's low, and he'll be able to burn this away. Well, let's see what Cobra's going to do here. Yeah, he's going to chuck that in there and try to bring this down. Get a nice square for a double. Somalian with all Tetrises so far. 3 Tetrises to start off game number 3. And Cobra set up down the middle and gets it. And that is Tetris number 1 on the board for Cobra. Somalian so far. All Tetrises. There's another one. I think it's a little bit of a curse to have a perfect game. Sometimes you take a little, play a little non-optimally just to, you know, continue the perfect game, but you didn't really get anything for it. That's all right. Somalian takes a couple burns, gets a Tetris, 72,000 for him, 32,000 for Cobra. All right, Cobra now needs a J piece for the right side. Or maybe he can turn this in. Yeah, okay, so he's going to chuck a J piece there, leave a little gap. He's got burns now. Yeah, and he can't seem to find a J piece when he needs one, but... All right, nice adjustment with that L for Cobra to take a burn. Lucas is here. Welcome, Lucas Susan. All right, little spin there for Cobra. And yeah, this is a little bit of a struggle. Okay, nice L piece. And now someone give Cobra a bar. All right, there's a bar. It goes to the left. That's going to help him on that left side. All right, now he's open on the right side for Tetris. Don't worry, the pronunciation is totally off, but the right one doesn't exist in English. So I don't judge you. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not. If it's not important to you, then it's not important to me. I mean, you can put a, if you can put a, you know, some sort of pronunciation in the chat, I'll try to stick to it. But see, I used to just say Lucas, but now we've got two Lucases, right? As Lucas Huang is, you know, playing, or at least played in this most recent event, so now I have to distinguish both of you. When you were just the only real Lucas, it was easy. Now you just avoid the whole issue. 66,000 for Cobra, 119 for Somalian. OG Lucas. All right, I'll call you OG Lucas. If the issue is, you know, if it needs to be distinguished, I'll just call you OG Lucas. 119 Somalian. He is open down the middle, and no great place for that Z piece or this other Z piece, and he blocks the well just in time for the bar to come. And this whole sequence is allowing Cobra to cut into this lead. And finally, long bar down the middle for Somalian. He's set up again. And now he really needs two long bars for this board. Tetris for Cobra, 104. All right, Somalian still fighting this center well. So difficult. All right, he opens it up again. And finally, a long bar down the middle. Tetris for Somalian. He's keeping that well. He's not knocking it down. He's like, this is where I live now. Cobra with a Vitz that he has set up over there. And he fills it in. Now he needs another bar. And another center well for Somalian, 161. And another center well Tetris. Somalian. Is he going to take the... Is he going to find a way to sort of transfer that well back to the right? Yes, he is. Lucas Ussen. Yeah, I'm just going to call you OG Lucas. Tetris Somalian 186. 134 Cobra. And we're under 10 lines to go until level 10. Cobra Tetris. So Somalian with still about a 40,000 point lead gets a Tetris 199. They're one line apart now. When they're one line apart, it's a 50,000 point lead. Somalian is the first one into level 10. Pretty good transition to 12. And Tetris Cobra, he's into level 10 at 160. So about a 52,000 point lead for Somalian at transition. That's about 4 Tetrises and change. Tetris Cobra 187. He's on level 11 now. So every time the colors change, the value of Tetrises goes up 1,200 points. Level 11, 14,400. And the next level, it'll be 15,600. And so on and so on. Tetris Cobra 217. Bar-wise, Cobra has more. Cobra has 46, and Somalian has 40. So more bars does not always mean more score. $248 for Cobra, $265 for Somalian. So level 13 is the next speed increase, and that is coming just a few lines for both of these players. And what is so far the best game of this match? Yeah, but Cobra up kind of high on the board, opens up the right side, and now the speed is increased, and he's got a high, difficult board. And the long bar, he needs it to the right, but didn't get over there. He guessed on a piece to the right, and it was a long bar, and he gets it over to that right side and bring it down with a Tetris. So when you're up that high, you're basically guessing and then adjusting if you can. So Cobra now 270, Somalian 301. There is a Tetris Somalian 319. Tetris Somalian 337. And Cobra is set up for one. And a long bar over Tetris Cobra 293. Cobra on level 15. Tetris is there worth 19,200. If I remember correctly. Yeah, 19,200. That makes sense. So Cobra back by about 3 Tetrises or so. Tetris Cobra 314. Doc Pie loves it. 344 for Somalian. And he is going for Tetrises. He really wants to knock Cobra out. But it is risky. And he gets a bar and a dirty Tetris column to Somalian. 366. Cobra takes a triple and a Tetris. He's into level 16. This is level 18 speed. You get 30 lines of this until level 19 speed, which is virtually unsurvivable. So we'll see what players can do here. Cobra needs to find a way to dig this out, and this is all just guesswork. And Somalian topping out and gets a long bar over to the right side. He kept that well open the entire time. Turns out he's not going to need it, but just in case he did, Somalian with a crazy Tetris at the end. He kept that open and stacked up as high as he could for as long as he could, keeping that well open. Somalian gets that Tetris again. Didn't need it, but pretty thrilling. 387 Somalian and 341 Cobra. Level 16 top outs. Somalian takes it. Yeah, 3-4-1-4-1-4. almost, I don't know what that is. Anyway, all right. Somalian says, I'm so lucky, bro. I might gamble right now. Yeah, it's the new pie. It's the brand new pie. New pie has been released. All right, players. Hopefully your next boxes are turned off. I feel like they aren't, but I'm gonna choose to believe you, and you're both signaled ready, and you're both ready to start game number 4. So let's get them started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. SV says, why does 18 look so fast, LMAO? It really does. All right. Their next boxes were turned off. They got the same opening piece. Yeah, it is crazy. Level 18 looks so fast when you're watching this, and then when you realize they have no next box and they've got, I mean, it just looks insane. Kingsman says, Somalian says his wrist is cooked and can't play CTL. 4 hours later, he's playing CTM, no next box. I see where his allegiance lies. I mean, you know, Kingsman. I mean, this is CTM. We're an institution. Gotta do it. And look at, he's up 2-1. You know, he's won a match. I mean, he's having success. So, you know, go where you can succeed. That left side for Cobra is a mess. And he's got to find a long bar very quickly, or at least some other way to burn out of this. That T will help. Now, if he can get the long bar quickly and spot it, getting over to that left side is critical, and he gets it over. So he brought it down a couple rows, could access it, and gets the bar in. So now, assuming he gets the pieces here, this is probably a lot less strenuous, says SV. I mean, maybe physically, but emotionally, it's very strenuous. All right, so there's the dirty double for Cobra. He's trying to bring this down. He's got to survive. And now Somalian with the performative shaking of the wrist just to make Kingsman feel a little better. You know? No. He's been shaking his wrist the entire time. Sneeze. All right, so Cobra still hanging on. I honestly thought that he was going to be done. Oh, and he's setting up for a Tetris this high. This is actually crazy. It's going to pay off, though. That is kind of crazy to set up for it there. 33,000 Cobra, 47,000 Somalian. SV says, all us Tetris players are going to be crippled in a decade. Well, yeah, they're probably going to track me down on, like, you know, 60 Minutes or Dateline. You know, this man ruined the wrists of an entire generation of young people. Yeah. Oh, sorry. But I'll be like, I don't care. I'm whatever. I'm rich. CTM. I'm living on CTM Island. All right, 48,000 Cobra, and he is drilled back down to the bottom of the board. And yeah, 50,000 even there for Somalian. Pretty close in score, these two. Have a seat, says Gerald Freeman. CTM Island. Release the Vandy files. Oh no. 61,000 for Cobra, 74,000 Somalian. He had a Spire, but he got an L piece over to that left side. All right, Tetris Somalian, 86,000. All right, Cobra gets it uncovered again. We're halfway to the level 10 transition. Another Tetris Somalian, 99,000 through 56. All right, Tetris Cobra. And another one. Cobra ahead by 6 lines, back by 10,000 points. Well, SV, you got to preserve your hands. I mean, your whole, career depends on your hands. Oh, no, Somalian. You like that there are a lot more pump fakes in No Xbox? Yeah, for real. All right, Tetris for Somalian, 124, 113 for Cobra. Cobra with a good, clean stack. Still about 30 lines to go until level 10. Man, level 10 is looming, guys. Your job is double ruining your hands? I know. You got to get better hands. Right? You had really crappy hands. You gotta get Guerrero to help you out. Somalian with a Tetris 139, 126. Cobra. You need those robotic hands. Have you seen those robotic hands? They were kind of on the news a couple months ago. And that was very good. So if you ruin your hands, there'll be other hands you can get. Don't worry. I saw them on Marcus Brownlee's channel. All right, so players basically tied in score. Somalian. Cobra like 6 lines ahead though. Tetris Somalian. Do the robotic hands come with the turbo functions? Well, those will have to be turned off for CTM anyway. Tetris Cobra 165. All right, Cobra could use a quick bar and gets one, so he sets up the dependency and gets rewarded with the bar. 166 for him, 165 for Somalian. The Cobra setting up long bar, column 9 as the level 10 transition approaches. And a little S flat will complicate things a little bit. He's waiting on a bar or something he can burn. He does take a burn with the box there. What is that called? The square? Oh my goodness. So this is going to be a pretty rough transition into level 10, but he finds an L piece. He opens up the right side and he's got a triple that he can take. So Cobra still trying to get a well-timed bar here, or any bar. And there is the bar for Cobra, 184, 183 for Somalian. SV says 250 hertz, LOL. I was thinking, couldn't we just have the hertz and input display turned on for all events? Is it really that big of a... is it that big of a buff to have access to that? I don't know. There's some things you can tell, like in DAS, you can tell what your DAS is. That's one of the problems. Do I have DAS or not? You can just look over. All right, Somalian scrambling here on level 11, 199 for him. Cobra 233. He's setting up long bar column 9. That's kind of aggro here on level 12, but he's going to get the bar for the Tetris 249. And Somalian might be cooked here. Coverdale's with the raid, party at 12. Thank you, Coverdale's. I was going to raid you earlier, Coverdale's, but I was worried that one of my enemies was on your stream. I didn't want to. But okay, 249 for Cobra. You are good. Somalian topped out at 200. Our Borrow says, join Tetris for the non-pros at tmp.tetris.lol. But Cobra, you are good, and you have tied it up, and we are going to a decider. So, of course, it's going to be deciders. Gilded Lizard with the decider emote and the tier 1 sub 20 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys get to watch Level 9 again. I don't know. I enjoy it. I like watching this. If I didn't like watching this, I'm not going to tell you more Coverdales. You can ask me about it privately if you want to. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like this tournament. I like watching No Next Box Level 9. It makes me feel good that like top players struggle on Level 9. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's get him started. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 1. The winner of this single one individual game goes to the top 16 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. All right, so everything is at stake right now. Now, these monthly STMs, the plan is to have, a series of nearly monthly STMs. Let's say, 8 to 10 a year. So not exactly monthly, but, something like that. Monthly with a lot of breaks. And then these will, finishing high in these will guarantee a entry and seeding into an end of the year, or actually like a summer multi-mode championship we'll have multiple modes, like, maybe 10, 12, 16 different modes selectable, counter picks, that kind of thing. So now there will be a way to get into that championship without having finished high in one of these, but finishing high in one of these should guarantee it. You have 2 ideas, Vandy, says Lucas OG. A special song for deciders, putting the qual score into the players' profiles. Yeah, I don't know. I think people, the qual score is fine. You don't need necessarily the qual score because you already have their seeding, so you know how their qual score rates, relates to the other people. So, I've thought about doing that, especially since I've done it here in STM, but I think their PBs are a little more interesting than their qual scores. And their PBs is not something that people have like generic regular normies have like easy access to. Like, yeah, there's a spreadsheet and you can go find it, but I guess you have it in the bot, but even that's not up to date. But yeah, I don't know. Somalian really in trouble. This is a lot of trouble for Somalian. He's come so far, and that is going to be a top out for Somalian. He made it through round 1. He made it through 4 games with Cobra, but he's going to come up short here in the decider, and that means Cobra will be moving on to round number 3, the round of 16. So GG's to you, Cobra, and GG's Somalian. You played really well throughout this. Maybe a little YOLO. Both players a little bit YOLO, but it seemed to work. They played very well, and they're much better than I am, so that's for sure. So GG's to you, Somalian. And GG's to you, Cobra. You will be moving on, and I should probably report this. These were both deciders, right? Were these both deciders? They were deciders, right? They were deciders, right? They were. Okay. $500 from Scott Gray, and we have met all of our goals. Are you serious, Scott Gray? We have met our Stupid Tetris Monthly no next box goal. Scott Gray, that was just stupid. Thank you so much, Scott Gray. And at this month, stupid is a compliment because it's Stupid Tetris Monthly. So thank you so much, Scott Gray. Really, really appreciate that. That is amazing. Wow. Right at the very end. Let me go ahead and report these matches. I'll show you the bracket, and then I'm going to go eat tacos. Because Sue's like, I'm trying to make tacos. I need to know when you're going to be done. And I'm like, I don't know. If we go to deciders, it could be like 2 hours. If they end in 5 seconds, I don't know. She's like, all right. All right. Then Cobra wins this one 3-2. Monthly Tetris is the place. Here we go. Submit. All right. We're going to show you the bracket. And again, thanks, Scott Gray. That's very, very generous. That is really amazing to support something so stupid as Stupid Tetris Monthly. But this is a fun competition. I really love it. Blank, what's going on? You can only eat if you brought enough to share with chat. I mean, what am I supposed to do, Blank? Shove it through the internet wires? How do I share it with chat? Explain this to me. Okay, well, you can see in that Teal bracket with Jerpy, Cobra will be taking her on. And yeah, that is going to be a heck of a matchup. Jerpy, of course, a former known Xbox world record holder. Cobra, kind of a YOLO young gun. We'll see what happens. And yeah, the next STM is going to be Saturday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. That is a top 16 red pink. So on Saturday evening in the US, or very, very late UTC, like 2300 UTC, it's going to be Fractal versus Steel, Dylan versus Peak, and then winner versus winner. Yeah, I'll send you some CAD files for food. Can you send CAD food files? I mean, eventually it's going to be a thing, right? I mean, it's got to be. We got to have it. So anyway, Fractal versus Steel. Answer to question, who is Dylan, will take on Peak. Our next stream of any stream is actually going to be Friday. We got 2 streams going on the schedule. I have a little typo there, a little cut and paste error, but that Tap Masters, the one that is now at the top of the screen, that's actually on Friday at 4 p.m. That's not Sunday. That's Friday, August 1st at 4 p.m. It's going to be Tap Masters Orange Yellow Top 16, Alex T versus Aaron, Pixelandy versus Bendy. Pixelandy trying to go for the CTM quadfecta. He's already the reigning Masters and DAS Masters champion. He's going to try to win Tap Masters. Good luck. But he's going to try. And then that same night, right after that broadcast, 3.5 hours after that starts, going to be Red Tap Masters, Tetris Time, Blue Scooty, and Opox. So that is your next stream. I got a couple days off. I got things I got to do. Oh my God, please don't schedule anything between now and then. Well, they probably will. But anyway, all right. So that is what is upcoming. I think there's other stuff to add to the schedule, but it just came in, so it's not on there. Anyway, go to Discord to find out. Want to thank everybody for supporting the stream. Chef Boyard Jeeves, Commodore Friday, Arbarro, and Gilded Lizard. Thank you. Coverdale's 4 with the raid. Party at 12. Really appreciate the support. Prize pool, we have met our goal. We're going to pay the top 8. Thank you so much to Scott Gray coming in, supporting CTM in all its carnations and permutations and all that. So thank you, Scott Gray. Really, really appreciate that one. So look at that. We have unlocked another STM, my guys. So thank you, Scott. Also thanks to Silver Sauce and Fractal 7th Roommate for their contributions. Also, K9 had a big contribution the previous stream as well, 256. So really appreciate everybody. I mean, I could list everybody, but I'll do it at the end. But you know who you are. You have the private, quiet satisfaction of knowing you supported CTM. So thank you for supporting the prize pool, supporting the stream and the channel. If you want to support the channel, go to patreon.com/monthlytetris. Make an ongoing pledge of monthly or annual support to keep this channel going. Everybody on the screen has done that. Be like them. Be like these people. These are the people. And also extra special thanks to Scott Gray, Jay in the window, K9, Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, Mila, and Jason. Okay, well, I will see you, unless something else gets scheduled, I will see you all on Friday. Might do a qual stream, might do a, kind of going for PB stream or something in between now and then. But I also have a lot of stuff to do in life, and I may do some of that stuff. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Thanks to the players. So, yeah, that's it. YouTube, thanks for hanging out. Mr. Burrow, Jungle Cook, Silver Sauce, D. Bradley, Julia K. All the stars are here. Take care. See you Friday. Bye-bye. And Twitch, we will send you somewhere, I guess. Somewhere over the rainbow. Where are we going to send you? Tetris. Not a... Who's playing? I guess we could send you back to Mari. We're going to send you back to Mari. There's somebody I don't know playing playing Nestors.org. I don't know who Nestor that is. I don't really know anybody. We'll send you back to Mari. We love Mari, right? Don't we? I'm coughing. Excuse me. All right. Raid Mari. Oh, and speaking of Mari, if you don't have plans like 3 weeks from now, or if you want to make better plans than the ones you have, consider... Here, where is that? Where is it? Here, let me skip ahead. Bloopity bloop. Oh, I fixed that May-June problem on this. Whoever mentioned that slide, I fixed it. Thank you. Yeah, Mari is running the Space City Regional in Austin, Houston, not Austin, in Houston. August 16th through August 17th, Space City Regional. There's a QR code. Get that QR code right there and go. And if you don't know how to do a QR code, well, you're the same as me. Whoops. There it is. You're the same as me. I mean, I know how to do it. I don't trust QR codes, be honest, because I can just open any link. So, but I checked this one out. It works. Go to it, Space City Regional. All the information is there. Or you can, we're about to raid you to Mari, so you can ask him for the information as well, the link to the Discord, because that just takes you to a Discord. Okay? All right. Have a great time. Have a beautiful day. See you Friday. And thanks for hanging out.